it's Cody and welcome back to the channel. Wow, it's been a long time since I've done that greeting. So it's a brand new year, and with a new year comes new opportunities. And maybe for some of you, that includes entering a cosplay masquerade. Whether this is your first time entering a cosplay masquerade, or you're a veteran and you're trying to figure out your masquerade lineup, there's always that one important question that you have to answer. Which cosplay do you want to enter? And let's be honest, that can be an extremely daunting task to figure out. So I'm hoping that this video will give you guys some pointers on how you can narrow down that extremely long list that you've got going on, all the way down to the one. Here's how to pick the cosplay for your masquerade. So tip number one is to write down all of the ideas you can think of. Put aside the competition, don't think about it at all, just write down any and all cosplays that you're thinking of entering into a masquerade. Don't think about, is this cosplay going to work? Just focus on you, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's gonna have to put a lot of time and money and effort into putting this costume together. You really should pick something that you're going to be passionate about. So think about what inspires you. What series do you love? What games do you enjoy playing? What movie has recently inspired you? Also, if you want to do a skit, do you have a skit idea that you want to try out? Another thing you also want to take into consideration, what do you like crafting? Are you more of a sewing person? Are you more of a armor prop person? Do you like doing crazy wigs? Think about that as well. Just also write those down. If there's a costume you want to do that has a crazy wig or a cool prop, write that down. No matter what the idea is, no matter how stupid you think it is, just write it down. Just write it down. Okay, so you probably have an extensive list at this point, right? Now we're gonna narrow it down. Number two, find the masquerade you want to enter and read the rules. Whether you're just entering your local cosplay competition or you're entering the big leagues like World Cosplay Summit, find the rules and read them carefully. A lot of masquerades do have overlapping rules like follow the convention dress code and weapons policy, don't make a mess on stage, don't do anything dangerous. Things like that are pretty much universal. However, there are other rules that are going to vary from convention to convention. For example, competition A might allow you to enter any source material that you want, whereas competition B might only allow you to enter cosplays from very specific source materials. In addition, if you are going to be doing a skit, take into account time limits as well as content restrictions. Another thing you want to take into consideration is how is the competition going to be run? For example, do they have divisions? And when I say divisions, that can mean anything from like age divisions to craftsmanship divisions to like methods of crafting divisions. Like there are various ways that masquerades will categorize the competitors. Another thing you also want to think about is how are they going to judge craftsmanship? Are you going to have a pre-judging before the masquerade starts? Or are they going to judge just from the stage? So, you read the rules, you digest them, and now we're going to move on to number three. You're going to go back to your list, and you're going to start eliminating ideas or costumes that are not going to work with the rules. Do you want to cosplay a Pokemon Gajinka, but this competition does not allow unofficial designs? Top! Do you have a cool skit for your costume, but this competition only allows walk-on entries? Top! Does your costume not meet the handmade requirements that is spelled out in the rules? Chop! Basically anything that can get you disqualified straight from the get-go, cut it out right away. So once you have those down, hopefully you've managed to at least get a few ideas off of there right away. Here's another thing you can go by. How much time and money do you have right now to put into this entry? You may have these grand ideas of doing this elaborate ball gown with the complicated waltz. But if you do not have the time to rehearse the waltz and you do not have the money for the materials you need, you might want to set that entry aside for another time. Okay, so at this point, I'm hoping maybe you've gotten it down to about 5 entries at this point, but now you're still stuck. You still have a few more entries you want to knock off. Well, another thing you can do is ask around. Ask your family, ask your friends, and see their opinions on the matter. Maybe you can talk to cosplayers that have done the same competition as you to get their opinions. Maybe you can talk to your family and see what they think. Especially if you're doing a skit, you want to run your skit idea by a number of people. Bare minimum, you want to run it by somebody who knows your source material and someone who doesn't know your source material. If both sides can follow along perfectly, you're good to go. Now, hopefully you've got your list down a little bit more at this point, but if you're still struggling on a few more choices, here's my final tip. Don't be afraid to sit on it. Unless your deadline is rapidly approaching or this contest is a first come, first serve basis, you have some time to think about it. Sleep on it, think about it a little bit, and then come back to the list and maybe narrow it down to the final one. After all, the idea that you thought was going to be the one turns out to not be the one after you sleep on it a little bit. And maybe the idea that you thought was completely stupid turns out to be secretly brilliant once you think about it a little bit more. And hopefully, if you've done everything and you've thought about it and you gave yourself enough time to think about it, you finally land on the one. So I hope you guys found some use out of this video, and yeah, expect some more long form content. I'm not really sure how frequently I'll be able to do these, but I do want to get back into doing more long form content on this channel. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any more tips or if you want to tell me about your upcoming masquerade projects, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more cosplay content from me, or if you want to see me dance, check out my dance channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye-bye!